Well, Follocks, what do you know? It's premium live event time and NXT pull it out the fire. They always do this when there's a premium live event. It's great stuff, and the weekly programme is just terrible. This was rather good. I'll talk about Evolution and the title match later on, but there was some great stuff here. Even when you're starting with Javon Evans with taped ribs, now we know that he didn't sell the taped ribs on the Go Home show on Wednesday at all. He dived, I mean, it's a lovely extended dive, but come on, you've got bad ribs, mate. He really, I think someone said, Javon, you need to sell the ribs, mate, because they're taped up. He really does. He keeps reaching for them and pulling a face. Oh, that sort of thing. Yeah. So at one point he can't get up to the second rope because those ribs won't let him, folks. Although there's lots more high-flying stuff with him. And he's facing Jasper Troy. Jasper Troy is someone who was given an opportunity very early on in his time with WWE to beat Oba Femi and didn't, and has been shuffled into the pack. I am wondering when Javon Evans, whose work I love, great trash talker as well, really high-flying, Mr. Energy, and all of that, why he isn't in the title picture right now when you've got someone like Ethan Page and Ricky Saints tussling for the North American belt, although they gave us a very good Falls Count Anywhere match, anything goes type match this week, very nice, or this PLE, very nice. However, this is a big man versus a small man match, the Javon Evans versus Jasper Troy, nice to a certain extent, the Page versus Ricky Saints match. Oh, how rude of me. Anyway, this match, this first match, opened proceedings pretty well. I like the way that Jasper Troy kept catching him when he was flying about Javon Evans, but that full extension dropkick just shows that your ribs aren't really hurt, are they, mate? I did like Jasper Troy's splash and a head crank and a posting and then a big slam with authority, and we did the rule of three, so twice Evans tried to lift him, couldn't even shift him. He will lift him later on, more of that in a minute. Troy just backbreaker and then just tossed him, and then went to the mat and did a sort of abdominal stretch with Javon Evans lying on the mat. Bit strange. It's a bit odd. He did hulk up. He hit a crossbody and went for the springboard cutter, and he was caught on that one, but then later hit a tope. So your ribs aren't that bad, are they, mate? He slipped on the ropes at one point, but then hit a rather small suplex, so we got him up the third time, and a frog splash. So your ribs aren't that bad, are they, mate? A kick out, big choke slam from Jasper Troy, but then a sudden roll up, quite poor actually, and he didn't really have the shoulders pinned at all. So Jasper Troy, who's a big bloke, could just have lifted one off, didn't bother, just stayed there struggling with his shoulders on the mat, even though there was no pressure on them. That ain't good. But the match itself was alright to start with. This though, Sol Ruka versus Izzy Dane for the North American Championship was bloody good. I really like the way that Tatum Paxley and Zarya mixed it up at ringside, which allowed a very quick power bomb from Dane. Ref was distracted though, so could have counted to 5. The crowd did count along, so although Paxley distracted the ref enough for that, the ref was still out there and it backfired. Oh! Anyway, nice missile drop kick from Ruka, big knee, and then Izzy Dane was on her for quite some time with a backbreaker, which was well sold by Sol Ruka. She came right into our living rooms with one of them faces that Javon Evans pulled. Oh, one of those, you know. So there's a neck crank and a big boot to stop Sol Ruka's small momentum at that point. Ruka came back with a big flying forearm and a moonsault off the apron, which was stuck and lovely, really well done. Then she cartwheeled outside in just to hit a basic clothesline. But Dane then hit a super code breaker, and Ruka hit a super X Factor, And then Zarya was shown at ringside, completely emotionless. And then when she saw the camera on her, she started to, I'm starting to be interested. Why? Because the camera's there. Yeah, so anyway, Dane threw Ruka off the top rope, but didn't get the pin. There was a kick out. And a Ruka super kick, as Izzy Dane came off the second rope, was followed by a flying clothesline. Dane got a foot on the ropes for that. Actually helped her, which led, she kind of pulled her out of the ring, which led Zarya to lay her out, and told Ruka to use the distraction for a Soul Snatcher for the pin. I think it was the Soul Snatcher. It was rather good. And so was Saints versus Paige, because they fought up the stairs. Saints walked to barricade and jumped off while holding a wrist lock. He threw Ethan Page through an exit door, and we got to a merch area which had a bar. So he smacked his head into the bar, but not before Ethan Page, in a bar area, in an Anything Goes match, slapped on a Boston Crab. Mate, have you not read the memo? It's a Boston Crab, mate. Hit him with a Death Valley driver into the merch table. That's it, good. Then back in, it was thrown into the steel, aluminium, or as you say, aluminum across the pond, don't you? Don't know why you can't do that extra little bit. Aluminum. One more syllable, that's all. Anyway, the crowd were chanting, "We want tables" at this point. Spoiler alert, they won't get them, but what they will get is Ethan Page getting a piece of guardrail and setting it up in the corner. It's not worked on for quite some time, but you know that's gonna happen, don't you? Page throws Saints into the ring post while he is necklaced with a chair, which looked nasty actually. And then Saints finds the fire extinguisher. That's a good spot these days, isn't it? So blows it in his face and then smacks him on the back with the body of the fire extinguisher itself. Yes, he then comes off the top. Saints actually before then he's stomping on Page's face, which is kind of cranked round on the apron. It looked really nasty. And then he comes off the top with a face buster on the chair. He is then backdropped onto the chairs, and he's thrown into the set-up guardrail. And when he kicks out, Page does that crying face, dry crying. I like that. Almost having a tantrum. Page is then powerbombed through the chairs, rolls out the ring, and they fight in the back again, as if they hadn't. But where can we go now? In the back, which looks like it looks like some kind of gorilla position type room. It's got a monitor in there. It's got a computer, and also a flip flop. I don't know why. It like it'd been placed there beforehand, eh? That Ethan Page smacked Ricky Saints with. I don't know who it was. I think it might be Vic who said, "Is that a flip flop?" Yeah, it is. That's really good, actually. Jesper Troy is then hanging around. We don't know whether Ethan Page has paid him money. He chokeslams Saint onto the top of one of those hard carriages, that you wheel stuff round in. I don't know whether he was supposed to do that or whether it was just, who's this in my way? Better chokeslam him. It's a bit weird. But what wasn't weird, although looked very nasty, was a Saints DDT, kind of a tornado DDT on the stage. Then there's an Ego's Edge off the stage to Saints, and obviously onto something set up through a table. It looked like it was supposed to be a soft landing. I don't think it was that soft. Page wins from that, and it was really good. Time then for Ava to take us through the worst segment of the night, which was the contract signing. So you've got Trick is out last. You've got Santana is out with Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. I used to. I don't know now. I have to say, Trick's playing the bad guy here, and it's awful the way that he signs as Trick, and then he walks purposefully as if someone's in his ear saying, "Now walk off," so that Hendry can stop him. They said, "We don't agree on very much, me and Mike Santana, however," and they both attack him and put him through a table, And as if that wasn't bad enough, Dark State, who they are desperate to get over, then beat the two of them up. I don't know. Dark State they're just not being introduced to us properly. They've been really hot-housed. It's not working, and here we go again. Right, I'm not going to go through the main event. You know what it was. It was Monroe and Jordan Grace beating JC Jane, wasn't it, and Fallon Henley. But the reason why I won't do that is because it was quite a good match, actually, at Evolution. Spoiler alert, she will turn on Jordan Grace, whack her with a chair, and Jordan Grace will not win the title. So there's not very much reason to... They work together well. That sweeping DDT that, I think it's called, that Monroe does for the pin is rather good. And Monroe's going to be your new hot house star, isn't she? But the match before it, and it should have been the main event, the Inamura versus Oba match was just great. Because what you're saying is, Inamura's got a sumo thing going on. He did those sumo palm strikes at one point. They look terrible. He does the sumo stance to begin with. He's with Briggs, who is saying, I'm not sure about... It's kind of implying he's not sure about Inamura's honour and all of that. They do the power moves. Nobody moves. Inamura just put him down, hits an elbow drop, runs on the apron and gets a chop on the apron, then gets a diving forearm off the apron, which puts Oba Femi down. It's great. Then he's back in the ring. He picks him up. He picks Oba Femi up, spins him round and slams him. That is beautiful. Oba Femi gets back in control, steps on him, throws him gut first on the top rope, then works the gut, which is never... It's never high octane. Hits a gut buster. He almost loses control of a spine buster as well. But Inamura gets a counter suplex and those awful sumo strikes. Then some chops and puts him down with a forearm. Then a gut wrench Northern Lights suplex for a long 2 count. And Briggs hits Oba Femi with the belt. And I thought, this is going to be it. Oba Femi does not seem to... he's not discombobulated by it. Inamura doesn't see it. Goes up top. Sees Briggs on the apron. Sees the belt, says, I can't do that. Remonstrates with him. Hits a shoulder block and a splash. Because I thought, well, Oba Femi will come back and roll him up now, won't he? For the win. But no, Inamura's in control. The ref's not there. I didn't see a ref bump. Didn't see it. It was so subtle, I didn't see it. He's not there. And he then walks into a chokeslam as Inamura kicks out. There were shots traded. A tomahawk chop. Or a Tommy Hawk chop. If you're watching Mid-Atlantic in 84 and 85, oh yes, Bob Coddle, and hits a shoulder block he puts Oba Femi onto one knee and then hit what I thought was a Michinoku driver. They didn't think that in commentary, but I thought it was, not a powerbomb. I thought it was a Michinoku driver, but to get him up and down like that is amazing. That got a 2.999 recurring, but then Oba Femi hit Briggs by accident, and Inamura rather jumped. He rather jumped to help him into a powerbomb for the Oba pin. It was great. Oba Femi, as I presume it was Corey said, is that his name? I think it is. Said he's kept it again. He's kept the belt again. The implication being he's squeaking through on these, and he certainly did this time, because Inamura has been announced as somebody marvellous. What they will do with him now, I do not know. My money, and what I would say, and I'm no Booker, I can certainly, well, not Booker T, I'm no Booker T, no, certainly not. My chat is better than that, I believe. However, I'm no wrestling booker, but I believe they should put him in again with Oba Femi and get him even closer. It should be a best of 3, and then you can really solidify Inamura's power. He does need to be better on mic, we know that, but that was a great not main event, but it should have been. And this pay-per-view, no, PLE, not even pay-per-view, it's on Netflix and I've got a subscription. Woohoo! It was great, and that's been the way it's going, isn't it? So I expect NXT in 2 days' time to be bloody terrible. Ta-ta.